Today we'll start with operators in C. Similarly, like in mathematics we use operators. Similar to that, in C for performing some mathematical operations we use operators. So let's get to the definition of what is an operator. The symbols which are used to perform logical and mathematical operations in a C program are called C operators. The definition itself is explanatory, like the logical and mathematical operations which are to be performed in C program, for that we use operators. Certain operators, the types are, first we are going with arithmetic operator. Similar, like in mathematics we use addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus as well. These all operations are also we can perform in C using these things. It's simple, as if like you're using plus in mathematics, minus, into, divide. Modulus means percentage sign. We use it in C. Same way, arithmetic operators are used to perform the mathematical calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. Okay, let me say what is modulus over here. Modulus gives you the remainder. When you are dividing a number, suppose you are dividing 3 mod 5, then what is the remainder over there? 2 is the remainder. So that it returns. Modulus operation returns you the remainder. Addition is obviously adding two numbers, subtraction is subtracting two numbers, multiplication is multiplying two numbers, and division. Okay, division has a rule. Division is when you are dividing it with 0. Obviously it is 0. Whenever you are dividing it with a floating number, then when you are dividing an integer with a float, then it will return a float value. That is to be taken care in multiplication. Here there is a code written in C. First of all, the header file include stdio.h, then void main, and then we have taken two numbers over here. First is A, how much? 40, and B is 20. Then we are adding 40 and 20 over here. So A plus B. Okay, so we can do here this thing. 40 plus 20 is how much? 60. So similarly we can subtract, we can do the multiplication, division and the mod as well. The mod of 40, 20 will give you 0 because it's perfectly divisible, so it will give you 0. Okay, so now we'll move on to the assignment operators. What do you mean by the term assignment? Assigning value, it's written itself that these are used to assign values for the variable in C program. What is variable? If you are not aware of the term, that is, just a minute. Yeah, with the term, what is variable? Variable in C is, suppose it's a container where you can store a data. Suppose I am writing int, this is the problem over here, the board is not working up. Int equal to A, semicolon. This is what I wanted to write, that int equal to A, semicolon. Or suppose int A, just a minute, int A equal to 10. What that means? Int A equal to 10 means that a variable a is a variable over here. This a is a, just a minute, this a is a, okay, so over here we have int a equal to 10, right? So what is this a over here? It is a variable which is storing an integer type data. It may store maybe a boolean, or maybe a float, that is 10.5 suppose. Then it may store maybe a character, let's suppose it's storing a character, right? That is also possible. So this is what is meant by int a equal to this. So a here is the, what is it? A variable. So how can you assign values to a variable? That what is given in the assignment operator, right? We'll move on to the next. Coming to the operators. Okay. Now operators, over here we have some assignment operators: equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, into equal to, divide equal to, modulus equal to, and equal to. Okay, let me, this is simple as we know. This thing, this assignment operator is simple. Equal to means you're assigning a value. Just now I have shown you that int a equal to 10 is what. Similarly here it's written sum equal to 10. So what this means, 10 is assigned to the variable sum. Here it's written also that 10 is assigned to variable sum, right? Okay. Coming to plus equal to. Okay, now what this means, this actually means that sum equal to sum plus 10. This actually means sum equal to sum plus 10. What this means? This means sum equal to sum plus 10. Sum equal to sum plus 10 means this is plus equal to, this we can write in shorter way, which is this, sum plus equal to 10. This is same as it's written in the line over here, this thing, it's same as this. Sum plus equal to 10 means sum equal to sum plus 10, right? Okay, we are moving on to the next, this thing, minus equal to, similarly we can write sum equal to sum minus 10. Similarly we can write into equal to 10, which is sum equal to sum into 10. It's written as it is over here. Then divide equal to 10 means sum equal to sum divided by 10. Modulus, we know what is modulus over here, the remainder operation is modulus. Okay. Then comes the and equal to. What do you mean by and? Now here single and means the and operation over here is the single and, sum and 10. Another thing is the or sign, or you can say the exponent sign, we can say, which is this thing. This thing is this sum exponent 10, which is whatever is the value of the sum. Suppose the value of the sum is let's suppose it's 5. Let's take it is 5. Wait, it is 5. let me put the color out there. Let's suppose we have 5 over here. Then 5 exponent 10 will give you how much? 5 to the power 10, which means, so it will give you 50. Or maybe more than that. Okay. Relational operator. These were a few of the assignment operators like I discussed above, and then we are moving on to relational operator. Relational operator is, these operators are used to compare the value of two variables, relation between two variables. We'll get into example like the greater than sign, the less than sign. These all can be performed in C. Similarly, like using these signs, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and equal to equal to. Okay, sometimes there is a question that what is the difference between equal to, which is single equal to, and double equal to. What is the difference between single equal to and double equal to? So whenever there is a question like this, we can say that single equal to means you are assigning a value. Just now we have read the assignment operator. So single equal to means you are assigning a value to a variable. Suppose sum equal to, you are writing sum equal to 10. This means you are assigning the 10 value to the variable sum, right? This is what it is. And if you are writing sum equal to 10, then the meaning changes. It says that it's checking what is in the variable sum. Suppose the value of sum is, let's say 5. Let's say it is 5. Then it's checking whether 5 is equal to 10. That it is checking over here. So when it says that sum equal to 10, which means that it is checking the equality operator, whether whatever is in the variable sum is equal to 10 or not. That is what it is over here. It checks the equality, but here it gives you, assigns the value to the variable sum. So this is what it was. Coming to not equal to, which means whether it's equal or not. If it is not equal, then it will return you true, otherwise false. That is what it is. Coming to, there's not much to say. Now coming to logical operator. Logical operator means it's taking a decision. Whenever we are in a logical scenario, obviously you are either taking a decision of true or false. True or false, right? So whenever you are in a logical situation, then either you are taking a decision of true or false. So we'll move on to the definition that these operators are used to perform logical operations on the given two variables. We are moving on to the examples. First of all, we have the and logical operator. And logical and, which means what? If we say that there is an expression and here it's written, in between we are using the and operator, double ampersand, which means and. It returns when both conditions are true, which means suppose here there is x is greater than 5 and y is less than 5. So if the value of x and y, suppose x is 10 is greater than 5, and suppose the value of y is 3 is less than 5, then both the conditions are satisfying. It is getting a true and true. Only if both the conditions are true, then only the whole condition will become true. That is what AND says over here. Now, logical OR. Logical OR says that this pipe-like symbol, logical OR says that it returns true when at least one of the condition is true. Suppose here there is the expression and it's saying that x is greater than equal to 10 or y is greater than equal to 10. Suppose the value of x is 20 and the value of y is 5. Okay. So x is 20, 20 is greater than equal to 10. It is greater than 10 and y is 5, which is not greater than equal to 10. So this is false and this is true. Whenever there is a OR in between, then true false will return, the OR operation will return you true whenever there is a condition of true or false. So at least any one of the condition is true, then the result will be true. That's what OR says. Coming to logical NOT. Now NOT means it reverts, it makes the complement. If the expression is said expression is returning you true, then NOT operator will complement it and make it false. Similarly, take it as a reverse. If the set expression is giving you false, then NOT operator will complement it, it will reverse it and make it true. That's what the logical and logical NOT operator does. Here it's written that it reverses the state of the operand if this expression is returning true. Logical NOT operator makes it false. That is what is NOT does. Now we'll move on to the ternary operator. So as of now, the operators, like if you summarize, then we have read the relational operator, we have read the assignment, the logical operator as well as the arithmetic operator. Moving on to ternary operator. Conditional operators return one value if condition is true and returns another value if condition is false. This will be if, of course this will be if condition is false. I hope this has not been said in the definition, but here it's explained that condition operators, conditional means there is a condition, of course, over here. So conditional, or you may say a ternary operator over here. This means there is a condition, it has a true value. So conditional operator returns one value if condition is true. So if the condition is true, it will return one value and returns another value if the condition is false, then it will return another value. So it is not explained in the definition, but we'll get into the example so that you get a clear understanding. Okay. Example is A is greater than 100, question mark 0 or 1. What this thing means is, suppose the value of A is 50. Let's suppose the value of A is 50. 50 is greater than 100. Now it's asking, is this condition A greater than 100 is true or false? What? If the condition is true, then it will return 0 as the output, as a result. If the condition over here is false, then obviously it will return the false value, which is 1 over here. So here this whole let me erase it. Okay, this whole line means what? That this A greater than 100 is a condition, and the 0 is a, if the condition is true, then the 0 will be returned if the condition is true, and this condition, this one is for the false value, this condition is for the false value. So this is the condition. If the condition is true, then it will return 0. We already have the true value, and if the condition is false, then we have a false value which will return as 1. Okay, even if it is not clear. Let's move on to the next example. Over here it's saying that x equal to 1, question mark, 2 or 0. Okay, suppose the value of x is 1. Let me take it that the value of x is 1 initially. Okay. The value of x is 1 initially. So check the condition. X equal to 1. X value is 1. 1 equal to 1. Yes, the condition is true. So now it will return the true value. What it will return? It will return 2. 2. Why? Because we have already mentioned if the condition is true, then the true value will be returned. That is 2 will be returned. If the condition is false, then what will it return? It will return 0. Okay, suppose we have the value as let's suppose we have the value as 5. 5 is the value of x. Then 5 equal to 1. No, the condition is false, which means what it will return? It will return 0. So already we have the true and false value. Ternary operator gives you an idea that if the condition is true, it will return one true value. If the condition is false, it will return a false value. That is what we know about conditional or ternary operator. Okay, moving on to the next, which is increment or decrement operator. So far there are several operators through which you can do certain kinds of operations in C. Those are common. Just a new thing in C we discovered is the ternary operator or conditional operator. Sometimes in question it comes that it will not give you like a conditional operator. It may say that what is a ternary operator. Then don't get confused. It's conditional operator is also said. Another name is ternary operator. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Another is increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement means the name itself. It's increment means increasing in a certain way, and decrement is what? It's decreasing in a certain way. Let's get into the definition. Okay, increment operator are used to increase the value of the variable by 1. So increment means it is increasing the value of the variable by 1, which means if it is written as I plus plus, which means I equal to I plus 1. Let me write over here. Suppose it's written I plus plus, which means what? I equal to I plus 1. I equal to I plus 1. Right? I plus plus means what? I equal to I plus 1. This is what it means. Now, decrement means what? Operators are used to decrease the value of the variable by 1. Again, when you are over here, this thing, this means I minus minus, which means I equal to I minus 1. I equal to I minus 1, which means I minus minus. You are decrementing the value of I. Suppose the value of the I is 5, then 5 minus 1, it will give you how much? I value becomes 4, decrementing. And if the I plus plus, then what it will give? I value is 5, 5 plus 1 will be 6, right? Done. So we are moving on to increment and decrement operations. Okay, increment operator is now here we have 2. I have explained so far that increment means increasing, decrement means decreasing by 1, and increment means increasing by 1, right? Now there is a twist over here. What this means? This plus plus before I and this plus plus after I. Is it different or is it same? No. There is a difference between both of them. This plus plus I and I plus plus generally is a confusing one. It comes in questions that what you mean by plus plus I and I plus plus. Both are two different things. Okay, let me explain. Plus plus I means, suppose the value of the I is equal to 10. Initially there is a variable named I is containing and storing a value which is 10. Okay, and after that you are printing the value of I. It will give you 10 obviously. Then you are doing this plus I, right? You're doing this plus I, which is, suppose this is a statement, there is a set of instructions. First of all, there is I equal to 10, then you are doing this plus I, and then you are printing the value. What will be the value of I now? What will be the value of I? Right? The value of the I will be 11. Why so? Initially the value of the I was 10 and then you did plus I. Then you are printing the value of I. Then why will it be 11? Because plus I means it's changing the current value of I. I was 10. Plus I means first it will increment the value of I to 11. Then it will print the value I. But there is a twist. You will say that no, you are using I equal to 10 and you are writing plus I. Obviously it will print 11. But no, when you are writing this thing, that is I equal to 10 and then you are writing I plus, right? I plus. Then you are printing the value of I. Then first of all it will print the value of I, then it will increment to I plus. It has reached to 11. There is a difference between both. First, this is called as pre-increment. If you are aware of the term which is pre and post, some or the other you may know the term which is pre and post. So over here this is called the pre-increment, which is first increment and then printing the value of I, and this is called as post increment. This is called as pre-increment plus I, which is first incrementing the value and then printing the value of I. Post increment I plus, which means first printing the value of I and then doing incrementing the value of I. Similarly, it goes for decrement. We have pre-decrement, which is this minus I. Then we have post-decrement, which is I minus. So this gets you confusing situation. It comes like how you are getting the value of I. Okay. So I have a question over here for you people, that is I equal to 10. If the value of I is, suppose the value of I is 10. Okay. I plus and plus I. Suppose you are printing the value of I and then first of all it is I equal to 10, this thing. Then you are printing the value of I. Initially I will be I equal to 10. Then plus I. Then again you are printing the value of I. Then again I plus. Again printing the value of I. So in this two print statement, what will be the value of I? That is the question. Again I am repeating that I equal to 10. Then you are printing the value of I, which is I equal to 10. After that you are doing plus I. Then you are printing the I. What will be the value of I over here? Again you are doing I plus. Then printing the value of I. What will again be the value of I? Okay. So moving on. Special operators. So now what do you mean by the term special? Over here, special operator means, here we have and, we have star. Okay, this and is not that and, which is just we have come through and operation. That is and operation, that is logical and, which gives you, returns you true if both the statements are true, otherwise false. That was logical and. But this is not logical and, this is normal special. What it says? This is used to get the address of the variable. Example, @ A will give you the address of A. Now, before I will give you a small brief over here, not that much, because we'll further move on to pointers. There this concept will clearly, we can discuss about it, that what is and or ampersand in variables, why we are using this. Ampersand A means, or and A means what? It gives you the address of A. Now before getting into what is the address of A, in computer, just if we imagine that in a computer we are storing the data in the form of what? In the form of variable we are storing, then variable contains the address, because you're in the computer you're storing a data in a binary format. Obviously it is having some address. Let's suppose the address is okay, let's suppose the address is 1001, right? It goes on like this is the imaginary address we are assuming it, but in reality the address are in what format? In reality the address are in binary in hexadecimal form. If I specify, then the address in reality is in the hexadecimal form. It is not in the form of like 1001, 1002. This is the imaginary which we imagine, so that we can do certain types of calculation which will see in pointers. Now I will not go into further detail. Here the AND is just giving, just for now know that it is giving the address of a variable. It will return you the address of the particular variable in which the data is stored. We need the address of the variable because by identifying the address we need to perform certain function. For now we will say that it returns the address, that's it. Coming to star. What this star? This is also related to pointer. Generally we will come across one term which is dereferencing a pointer. For now just get into it that this is used as pointer to a variable. This thing is used as a pointer to a variable. Example asterisk A, where star is pointer to the variable A. This concept cannot be understood so much well unless and until you are in the topic of pointers. Then there I will briefly discuss that what is star asterisk A. This asterisk A, after you are writing, if you are writing, let me say if you are writing int asterisk A, then this is not a normal variable. Int asterisk A, this thing is not a normal variable. This means A is a pointer to an integer type of variable. A is a pointer to an integer type of variable. What is A? It is a special variable. It is not a normal variable. It is a special variable which is a pointer variable actually. It is pointing to an integer type of variable's address. It is pointing to an integer type of variable. Then what it returns? It returns an address actually. So we'll read this in detail when we will cover the topic of pointers. Okay. So we'll get into size of. What is size of? Size of is this gives the size of the variable. What is size of? Size of is it gives you the size of the variable. Suppose this here is example size of character. Generally you should be, these are some few interview questions. Generally people ask you in interview that what is the size of character. You are in computer, if you are checking over there, then you can get the answer, but in reality you should know that what is the size of char in computer. Obviously it is 1. So size of character is 1 byte. It takes 1 byte in the computer. The space of characters in computer, it takes the space as 1. What is integer? Okay, now do some research and let me know what is how much byte integer takes and how much byte float takes. Integer means you need to check unsigned int, long int also, how much byte it takes in the computer memory. Okay, this is a homework that just find it out how much byte a float takes in a computer memory space and how much byte a double takes in a a double takes in a computer memory space byte. This is a task you need to do. In integer, I will say that in some book or in many things you may find that somewhere it's written as 2 byte or somewhere it's written as 4 byte. So both are correct. Don't think that any one of is correct, because 2 byte is for a 32-bit machine and 4 byte is for a 64-bit machine. Now, if what you mean by 32 and 64, this means the computer's space, like the operating system, or it depends upon the OS. If we say that it depends upon the OS of a computer, whether it is a 32-bit computer machine or it's a 64-bit computer machine. So if it is a 32-bit, then int will take space of 2 bytes. If it is a 64-bit machine, then int will take 4 bytes. Generally we take, whenever we are doing a calculation of integer, we will do memory allocation, will do dynamically memory allocation. In that time we will have certain things where we need to see what is the space of integer, what is the space of double, what is the space of float, how much byte it takes. So for that a general knowledge should be there, that integer takes 2 byte for 32-bit machine and 4 byte for 64-bit machine. Now I want the answer for how many byte a float takes and a double takes, as well as unsigned int and long int takes. In a 64 may be a 32-bit machine, anything. So let's move on to the bitwise operators. Now what do you mean by bitwise operator? These operators are used to perform bit operations on given two variables. Now bits are, obviously, if we say 1001, 1002, this way how it goes on. So these are all bits. Now in that sometimes we perform certain operation. First is bitwise AND, bitwise OR. These are different from normal logical AND and logical OR. Mind that. Sometimes student may confuse in what is bitwise AND, bitwise OR, and about the logical AND and logical OR. So this could be one thing. Again, going to bitwise NOT, XOR operations, left shift, and we are coming to right shift. Okay, so this is what about the bitwise operations over here. So we'll move on to the table. This will clearly define you the bitwise OR, bitwise and I guess the left shift and right shift. No, not the left shift, XOR operation. Okay, XOR, I guess no one knows what is XOR. XOR, if you are from a digital electronics background, then you can know that what is XOR. XOR means if there is a different value, then it will return 1, otherwise 0. Same value, then it will return 0. Another thing was XOR is also a operation from where you can derive from any other operations. So XOR is very much important, XOR and XNOR. If you are from a digital electronics background, then you may understand what is it. Okay, here we have given an example of using a table where the values of x and y are given 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Now what is this? This is a 4 combinations. In a 2-bit, there are 4 combinations: 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So in a 2 bits we can have 4 combinations. Okay, now coming to XOR. Whenever there is a X or Y, which means OR operation means what? If any of is true, then the operation will return true, otherwise false. So here both of them are false, so obviously it will be false. Here it's any one of is true. 1 means true. Okay, let me write over here that 0 means false and 1 means true, right? So moving on with that, we say that 0, 1 will return 1, 1, 0 will return 1, and 1, 1 will return 1. Same with AND operation. AND operation is what? it says that if both of them is 1, then only it will be 1, which means if both of them is true, then only it will be true, otherwise not. So same, we have 0 0, that is 0, 0 1, that is also 0, 1 0, that is also 0, 1 1, except only in case of 1 1 we are getting in AND bitwise we are getting the result as 1, rest of them are 0. Coming to XOR. XOR means if you are having same value, then it will return same result. If you are having different value, then only it will return true, otherwise false. Okay. So 0 0 will return you 0, 0 1 will return 1, 1 0 will return 1, and 1 1 will return 0. So same will give you false, and different will give you true. That is the logic of XOR. Okay. Now we have shift operation. Let me brief it out. The shift operation is over here, which is x equal to 0 1 0. This is suppose I have given here a bit, suppose 0 1 0 is the bit. Now whenever you are doing 0 1 0, left shift, this is called shift. Now let me see what kind of shift is this. This is a left shift. So whenever you are shifting to the left hand side, then it means you are moving backward, right? So it will return you 100. Itself it's explanatory that whenever it is 0 1 0, which means 110, it will get back and it will return you 100. Again, whenever you are doing a right shift, then obviously it will return you, the numbers are shifting. Okay, see this thing, 0 1 0, this 1 is whenever you are applying this thing, this x, left shift 1, which means 1 is shifting to the left hand side. As you are noticing over here that 1 has been shifted 1 0 0, it has been. Whenever you are using a right shift, 1 has been shifted to right, which means 0 0 1, this is the resultant. You are shifting the 1. If you were shifting the, let's suppose we have over here 0 1 5, you are shifting it to the left. Instead of 1 we have 5, so x left shift to 5, then it will left shift and it will return you what? 0 5 1, right? Now x right shift 5 1 5 5, then it will return you, this thing will return you what? 0, it is already in the right hand side, again you are shifting it, it will return the same value, 0 1 5, right? So overall we are done with the operators in C. Using these operations, likewise we have seen the logical, then we saw assignment, we saw the relational, then bitwise, ternary, or we can say conditional operator. These all operations are performed in C. Step by step I have given you the brief over here. You may try these operations in C program and you will have fun. So enjoy coding and have fun with these operators for now, and I will meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.